Okay, now today we'll look at item categories, and of course we will also look at some configuration. Configuration as in SAP. If you look at the pathway SPRO production basic data, SPRO production basic data bills of material, bills of material items data, and define item categories. Okay, categories. And over here, now these item categories are used in making bills of material. You will see this, but keep this in mind. Okay. So now what are these entries basically? Okay. As I told you, we have some item categories like phantom item, stock item, non-stock item, variable item, text, document, project management structure element. Okay. We have document item, class item, stock item, phantom material, non-stock. If you look at over here, uh, these are item category text. Okay, I'll just shift. Okay. Compatible unit, document item, PM structure element, class item, stock item, and so many. So we can actually create BOM using many categories. So these categories are basically relevant for various uses over here that are selected over here. Let's say stock item and variable size item are basically used for inventory management. Okay. And this is text item. So text item will match with text item. This is variable size item and it will stay with variable size item. Some options will have relevancy in various categories. Okay. And some are used in various scenarios. We'll see that ahead. Okay. So, so what is the usage of SAP for bills of material? It is used in sales and distribution. Okay. How? I'll just discuss that with you. It's used for costing, yes, very much, because your bills of material is the list of all components that will be used to produce one unit of a finished product, semi-finished product, and that will be used for overhead costing, for costing sheets, for actually calculating how much of raw material overheads, labor overheads have been consumed to bring out a cost per material. For production, yes, for production, you have to have bills of material and routing so that you have a quantity structure. So quantity structure is bills of material plus routing. Okay. In engineering, yes, when we are actually going to produce a product, the engineers, the engineering department will need the bills of material, the BOM, to look at what components will be needed. Okay. Plant maintenance, yes, for plant maintenance, if there is a heavy equipment or a bigger plant, there is a list that has to be checked and maintained and repaired. So plant maintenance is also done based on that. Sales and distribution, we'll see some examples ahead. What are some of the BOM item categories? We've already seen that stock item, non-stock item, okay, variable size, text document, text item, document item, class item, okay. These are some of the categories. Speaking of usage, we've already seen that. So, in addition to that, you can compare bills of material with another bills of material to actually understand what is matching. This can be a plant, and this is another plant. The BOM components can be the same, but the quantities can be variable, can be different. So in effect, the BOM in one plant can be different from the BOM from the other plant based on quantity. Although the same material, raw material, semi-finished good material component is being used over here, but the quantities are different. Okay. So in some areas, as we see C2 and C2, same material is being used in the same quantity. So there is a similarity in these bills of material. Okay, so you can actually compare bills of material. Speaking of uh, bills of material explosion, why do we need bills of material explosion? Because we have to get to the molecular level. So what is a bomb explosion and where is it possible? It is basically a level by level explosion. If speak of the level by level, so this, we have already seen this. Uh, we want to, if we want to create a motorcycle, there are many levels to achieve. And there are like first level is powertrain and chassis. And the powertrain, we need these components. These components can also be broken down into further mini components that make up or subcomponents that make up these items, so it can be exploded. This is level by level explosion. So molecular details of materials are basically available for you to see how much of these will be required to achieve powertrain plus and achieve the motorcycle as a whole. So there are three ways to explode. Multi-level, multi-level bills of material actually shows level by level. How is that? If we look at this over here, at level one, okay, we need a material called C1. At level 1, we need C2. At level 1, we need A1. Okay. So at level 1, we are actually looking at various materials, and then comes the level 2, which requires material components in various quantity. That is multi-level bomb explosion. Okay. So where use list now, basically this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because your material can be sourced and used and utilized at various places. And those various places can be areas and plants and sourcing and subcontracting. So a bomb can be used at various other plants, various other places. And since we have multiple categories in bombs, we should know where the bomb is being used, because um, if the technology that is being used or the material that is being used is getting old or obsolete, we should know where this material of a particular bomb is being used at what stage, at what plant, so we can replace it. For example, a new model of chassis of a motorcycle, or an exhaust, or a motor, or carburetor is now coming in the market. The old one is by law banned. So we should know what bomb is actually using that component and where it has been used. This is also one of the features available in SAP. So in bomb, where use list is basically also implemented, where, as I said, new models are being introduced, like ISO standardization checks are implemented. So you should know the documentation, the old documentation will be replaced by the new one. The SOPs or the user manuals or production manuals will change, and new material will replace the older ones. So where use list basically gives you an overview where the bills of material are being built. Okay. So where use list is basically helps in tracking where the bills of material are being used. Mass changes in at bomb level is also possible in the same case, when if old material is being replaced or old component is being replaced, it will be actually mentioned by just one movement and one configuration, and components like XY are being replaced by component Z, and that will be replaced all at once at a mass level, and the bills of material will change. So technical type, if you look at various types of bills of material, we have simple bomb, which is hard coded. It follows a single process, okay, and that process does not change over a longer period of time. Variant bomb is basically very much prevalent in cases where you are producing something in different colors, outlook, and uh, look and feel. Multiple bombs, basically over here we have alternative one, alternative two. Now this is according to standards. Now, once you're producing the same material finished good of grade 60, and the other material is of the same family but of grade 40. Okay, so this is pretty much is relevant for motorcycle industry, that you're creating a motorcycle for a particular country like Vietnam. It will be different for from the motorcycle that is being produced for the US. Okay, so in that we of course will have multiple bombs, because material grade outlook will be different. Variant bomb. Now, variant bomb, coming to that, we were actually looking at multiple bomb. Now we have variant bomb. We are creating the same thing, which is a keyboard, but we have variants like black. We have more than one variant. In this, we have two alternatives. For example, here we have more alternatives. This is like customized making. So we actually have a particular category for variant bomb, where we have the option to produce black, red, and blue keyboards. In these keyboards, what is basically being included is the base of keyboard, which is common, identical part. Okay, the sheet metal, which can be a common, identical part. But casing upper section is blue, casing is red, or casing is black. These are different variant parts. And the floor of casing, this can be identical as well. Okay, so the what actually is now, this is a multi-level plus variant where the explosion is happening. And at the molecular level, we have the metal sheet on which the keyboard casing will be placed. And on that, either it will be blue, red, or black. So colors will also be sourced from the molecular level, from the next level to the first level. Okay. So now, 10, 20, 30 is basically, it can be your material number. Variant bomb is basically denoted and symbolized with the letter V, and several products can be clubbed into one bills of material, and we can have 99 variants. Okay, and each variant will have a different material number. Okay, for each variant there will be a different material number that will be generated as and when that variant is used. So there will be a BOM header, because in BOM header, of course, you will have to mention that you are creating a black keyboard with red casing or red keys, whatever, because this is variant. You can change your outlook and the output result of your keyboard using a variant bill of material. A variant BOM will have different materials being used, as these can be used as alternates. Like configuration can be same, the power can be same, but outlook is different, the color is different. Like Hero Honda Splendor will be either red or white, or you can have a material which is grade 40, this is grade 60, this is grade 70, for different countries, for different traffic rules. Okay, so the usage, we mention the usage, and we also create a BOM group where all these materials are available at like a wholesale. I mean, of course, if you go in a wholesale market, you actually pick up not one color, but different colors. Okay, like you pick up pink, red, blue, so that you can cater to more customers. Okay, so that for you have a BOM group for that, for the same material type, but of different grading or coloring. Okay, so it's like variant configuration. Now, variant configuration is like that you want a speed motorbike, okay, sports motorbike. And in that, when you actually go for buying this motorbike, the sales rep will actually ask you what area do you want your sports motorbike to be operated and to run. You say, okay, I want something for international roads or any country. Then he will ask you what kind of motor do you want, 1300 or 1600 cc. After that, when you've selected this, he will offer you for a standard or a deluxe seat, back wheel, exhaust, anti-theft device, okay, color, accessories, and things like that. You pick and choose each of these, and that will create a customized BOM. Okay, so that's how your custom made vehicles, automotive and motorbikes are actually created using the same pattern, where variant configuration is pretty much a very essential part of your buying process. Okay, next is variant configuration, where you have maximum BOM. As I said in the previous example, you want a sports motorbike, so you will actually list every component, exhaustive component, maximum materials will be listed over here. In routing, of course, the recipe, the ingredient, the process of making the sports motorbike uh, will be given in detail over here. And when you have actually chosen the dependencies, the color, the exhaust, the seat, the engine, and the speed, and everything, the accessories, those dependencies are then transferred to configure your bills of material and your routing to produce that sports motorbike. Okay. So multiple BOM is the next part. What is a multiple BOM? For example, um, you want to create, let's say, a paint, or yeah, you want to produce a certain paint. So you have three alternatives to create that um uh, paint. Okay, you're creating 1 to 100 liter of paint, then pigment one will be used. Sorry, pigment one, two, or three will be used. If you are producing more than 100 liter up to 200, then of course solvents will be used. But if you're going for something bigger quantity, okay, then water-based solution will be used to create that paint. So that is multiple BOM, that for your production facility or your quantity, you can change the components based on potency, uh, based on the output, and based on the quantity. You can actually change and modify the use of material parts. Okay. So that is how you can use multiple BOMs. The multiple BOMs are symbolized with M, okay, and these are basically identified with lot size, date, and production version, okay. And one BOM header is used per alternative. Header will see what is a header. Multiple BOM, of course, we will be using alternative 03, which can be a different material, and alternative 01 can be a different material of different potency, like grade 40, 60, 70, as I mentioned earlier. Okay. So that being said, multiple BOMs can be stored and grouped together in a BOM group. So color blue, will be of a different shade, this will be of different shade, and this will be of different shade. Plant assignment, if you talk about bills of material, basically are defined at the client level, company code level, and then we can assign it to various plants. One of bill of material will be assigned to different plants. For example, if you have 3 Honda factories for making motorcycles, the same bill of material will be shared between the 3 plants. BOM recursiveness. Now, this is basically used in pharma and chemical industries, where a chemical component is produced from 3 various other chemical formulas, but one of those formulas is using the main part of that. This happens in pharma, this happens in dairy products, when you actually create yogurt from milk using a little bit of yogurt from the previous production. Okay, so that is one way of putting it. This is also used in rubber industries, where you're producing rubber tires. Some of the rubber is extra from extra rubber is actually taken out from a production that can be remelted, and it can be reused and recycled to make more tires. So that is BOM recursive. Okay, this is not usually in engineering industry, but this is much more in manufacturing industry. So if you want to create bombs, let's go and see how we can create bombs. Um, slash n. First of all, we go for MM60 and see what material have we created. Double A four two created by WasNet SAP evaluated materials, and we don't know what material we have created. Let's see. FERT is finished goods. Execute. No materials can be displayed. Okay. Created by WasNet SAP. Execute. Okay. Now these are the materials that we have already created. But if I want to see what other materials have I created, so LAP9 FG1 pop rock, this is plant pop G, concrete adhesive leather rack base. Okay, now LAP9 FG1, we can use this. Okay, and what is the plant L9P1 L9 RM? This is raw material ROH and finished good. Okay. And L9PM is the material group. Material type is raw material and finished good FERT. And LAP9 RM1, LAP9 FG1. Okay. Next step is CS01, LAP9 FG1, LAP9, L9P1. Okay. L9P1 BOM usage. Now, what is BOM usage? BOM usage is for BOM usage is for production. We'll be creating finished good L9, LAP9, FG1. Okay. And enter. Okay. Over here, we want to create components. Now, item categories that I actually mentioned in the past. Oh. Now, these are the item categories we actually mentioned in the first part of our discussion today. Oh, it's going down. Okay. Let me put it back. Or shall we stop over here today?